Okay, in today's video, I'm going to give you some strategies to overcome the temptations of trigger foods. First, I want to give you the ways to know that you're dealing with a trigger food. First and foremost, a trigger food is something that when you eat it, you immediately want more of it. A little bit is never going to be enough. My classic example is peanut butter. I know that an open jar of peanut butter, once I get a smell of it and a taste of it, it's going to be a jar a week. And I did the math and I figured out that's 400 plus additional calories of energy that I would have to burn through every day if I were not eating that jar of peanut butter a week. So it's not worth it, really, from a long term or sustainable perspective. That is something that I need to get out of my environment. That is my first line of defense, my biggest strategy, and that's my recommendation for you. If you're struggling with some problem eating behaviors, get it out of your house. Okay. I've said this many times. Junk food doesn't just jump out of the pantry and attack us. We brought it into our environment and we are in control of getting it out of the environment. So, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, if you haven't gotten one of these handout, the food guidelines handout, I would love to send you one of those. Just comment below or visit direct.me/reshape. I'll send you a PDF like I have attached to my refrigerator in the background here. That gives you all the best choices for your protein foods, your fiber micronutrients, as well as the things you need to reduce or eliminate if you want to be successful long term, all in a handy PDF that you can print out and place in a prominent place like I have mine, and that is your food guidelines that's going to help you with your transformation program. So the second way to know that you're dealing with a trigger food, you can't control the amount that you're eating. So I sort of alluded to that earlier, but I do have a strategy that works sometimes with ultra processed foods, and that is to go with single serving size. So if you can just open and consume a small amount of something and that's all you have, that's not going to be as detrimental. So for example, single serving cup of, serving of peanut butter wouldn't be as bad as an entire jar of peanut butter. I like to use that strategy with things like Quest chips, for example. Those come in a big bag, but they also come in smaller single packages. So that type of food, by the way, it has other attributes that makes it easier to consume less of it. And I'll detail those in a future video. But today, that's my strategy for you, is to go with single servings instead of the large serving. So you can't just eat the whole thing. Okay, next way to know that you have a trigger food, it makes you crave other things that maybe were not even a problem until you opened up that jar of peanut butter. And the next thing you know, you need some apples to dip in it, or you need something to have along with it, a bowl of ice cream or something that you weren't going to do otherwise. So that's kind of the landslide of things, or avalanche, if you will, a progression of events. Sometimes you get into something and then that leads you to another place that you don't want to go. So my strategy there is, if you can't remove the offending item from your environment, remove yourself from the environment. This is where you can just follow this principle of going away from the kitchen, getting out of the house, going for a walk, doing something else, distracting yourself. A lot of times these urges come up, they come and go. We are wired visually. First of all, when we see something, that's when we want it. So that's another reason why having it out of the environment is going to help you. It's out of sight, out of mind. If it's not right there in your face, you're not as likely to do it. So that strategy, by the way, starts when you do your weekly shopping. Stock up on the items you need. Don't buy the other stuff. Wait for your refeed window on the weekend. That refeed day is coming. Provided that you're in a deep deficit during the week, you can be in a little surplus on the weekend and still get good results. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So, have you ever heard these slogans? Bet you can't eat just one. Once you pop, you can't stop. An open box is an empty box, or an open bag is an empty bag. Ultra processed foods are designed to be addictive. Okay. People think they have problems with food, but what they have a problem with is actually food-like products. So, final solution I'm going to offer you today. If you haven't signed up for a membership yet, download my app, start your free trial, go to direct.me/reshape. Once you commit to a program, it's only $30 a month. I'll be your coach. You just send me photos of your foods. You don't even have to track anything. Use the list as a reference. I'll give you some macros. If you want those parameters, send me photos through the food journal. Let me just take a look at it, because look, you're automatically going to make better choices if you know that someone else is watching what you're doing. If you have to stop and take a photo of that food before you eat it, that's enough of a pattern interrupt to stop you from eating it sometimes. So it's not rocket science, people. More real food, less processed food. Put in 30 minutes or an hour a day of some type of focused activity towards becoming a better version of yourself, and I'll be there to support you through the app membership. Go to the comments, click on the link, download it, give me a like or subscribe right here, and until next time, stay strong and enjoy the journey.